PANDAS. Pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric disorders.
Are you kidding me? What?
Yes, it's associated with streptococcal infections. And you're gonna get it. So is your entire family.
Thank you to Live It Up for sponsoring this episode. Moms, you do everything for everyone else, and somehow your own wellness always gets bumped to the bottom of the list. Table for one. That's where Live It Up Supergreens comes in. You guys, this tastes so good. I drink it every morning. Live It Up Supergreens is an all-natural blend of over 20 superfoods formulated with organic vegetables, probiotics, digestive enzymes, and naturally derived ingredients. Just one scoop every day can promote gut health, support your immune system, and give you that feel-good energy you can count on. I mean, truthfully, it tastes so good, and I'm so busy. I just want to make sure I get all the good. Take one scoop, put it in water, and chug it down, and that's it. Live It Up has become a quick and easy way for me to stay on top of my health. It tastes good and it is good. And because it's free from sugar, dairy, gluten, and anything artificial, it's something you could feel good about taking every day. So Live It Up is offering you 15% off your first order, including subscriptions, with code IDIOT. Plus, shipping's always free. Head to letsliveitup.com/idiot and use your code IDIOT for 15% off your first Supergreens order. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Hey everyone, welcome to the Idiot Podcast. I notice my Chicago accent comes in and out depending on the day. Maybe it's more pronounced now because I've got strep throat. I tested positive and my children tested positive for strep throat. And when I told my producer that, he didn't say, "Oh, we'll get better." He said, "Strep throat. What is this, 1998? Is that, do they still have that?" But it's kind of like, why was strep throat so around in the 90s, early 2000s? I guess you get it more when you're a child. That's why. But I got it. I got it, dude. And so do my kids. And yeah, this weekend we've just been bonding through bacteria. My throat is so disgusting. The back of my throat looks like a wedding cake that was left out in the sun for 3 days. Okay. It looks like a Jackson Pollock painting if he used cottage cheese only. It looks like the Joker's face if it was drawn by Tim Burton. It's fucked back there. I want to show you. I so desperately want to open my mouth and push my tongue down and show you all the back of it, but I'm going to spare you. I'm weird though. I like looking at the back of people's throats with strep. I feel like that's a similar thing to like people liking to pop pimples. Like that's disgusting. If you like that, you're disgusting. If you, I want to pop your pimple, sick. Remove yourself from me. Never will I allow anyone to do that. But I do want to look at the back of your disgusting throat. I want to take a nice long gander back there and take a couple pictures and look at them later on. Weird story about a celebrity. I'll just say it. I had a weird encounter with Leonardo DiCaprio's stepbrother, who's a piece of shit, by the way. Total piece of shit scumbag. And one of the things that he told me, and this just randomly stuck with me, was that Leonardo DiCaprio used to send him pictures of the back of his throat when he had strep throat. And I just thought I'll just never forget that. Anyway, this weekend was it was horrible, but also not all bad. So we all had strep. It was movie marathon. Just because no one really talks about parenting while sick, parenting sick kids while sick, caring for sick children while you're sick. That is like being in hospice, being the patient in hospice, the dying one in hospice, and also the doctor. That's dramatic, but it's really hard because you're so sick and you just want to relax and you have no energy, none. And it hurts and everything hurts and you're dizzy and you're nauseous and you're fevering. And then you've got these like little kids that are also nauseous and fevering and in pain. And so of course you care for them. And then if you're the only adult, even worse. So yeah, that this weekend was crazy. And I didn't relapse. That's the wrong word, but I relapsed on my phone. I've been so good about not scrolling on my phone and just not being on my phone. It's not just scrolling. It's just being on. It's just emails and texts and social media and whatever. And I've been so good about just limiting my screen time and being so present right here, right now, touching grass, if you will. And when I got diagnosed with strep, that all went to ass because, you know, we all feel like shit. And so I'm not going to be fun mom, right? So I'm going to put on movies. We watched so many movies. And one day it was like Frozen 1, Toy Story 3, The Secret Life of Pets 2, Bluey and Peppa Pig, just all in one day. All in one day. And I tried between movies, we'd go outside, do a little painting for 5 minutes, and then it was back in there to another movie. You know, because we're resting. And so I don't really want to watch Peppa Pig. I don't really want to watch it. Good, arguably good show for 3 to 5 year olds. Arguably great show. But I don't want to watch it. So I inevitably went back on my phone. I started scrolling, you know, and I swear to God, just, you know, we tested positive on Friday. It's now Monday. So we've been on antibiotics since Friday. I'm feeling better, but it's my throat, you know, whatever. It's still disgusting back there. And I'm gargling with salt water like 10 times a day. And if y'all don't know about this, which I think this is common knowledge, I really do, but maybe it's not. If you're out there and you have any sort of infection, gargling with a ton of salt. It's not just a little sprinkle of salt in lukewarm water. No. Tons of salt in there in warm water, and you gargle for 30 seconds at a time. And it stings a bit, but I swear to God, it cleans your throat out. I've had so many times where I've had a little white back there and I just gargle for one day, like throughout the day, once an hour, and it's gone. Infection's gone. I feel great the next day. It's magic. No one told me that as a kid. But okay, so what was I saying? Oh my God. So yeah, so I'm back on the phone, and it's crazy how quickly I became honestly addicted again. Horrible. And it's like, dude, even if, you know, when I'm with my kids, if we're all watching a movie together, it is a bonding experience. It is, because we're, oh my gosh, we're laughing at the funny bits together. We're talking about the movie. If they're watching a movie and I'm scrolling on my phone because I don't want to watch that movie, suddenly I'm separate. I'm not bonding with them. I'm not connected with them. And it's like, and then there's these moments where My daughter will be like, Mom, wasn't that funny? And I'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Because I was watching the 200th video on Charlie Kirk. So I missed that bit of the movie because I was watching the 500th video on Charlie Kirk, which, by the way, people, of course, are mad at me because people love to get mad now. They just love it. And, they're mad at me for not posting about it because I haven't said anything about it. I haven't posted about it. And I'm getting a lot of, how dare you post this, whatever, photo of a banana when Charlie Kirk was unalived. How dare you? How could you? But then, if I do post about it, stay in your lane, Laura. Make some comedy. Dance, monkey, dance. So, I'm damned if I do. I don't really have anything so compelling to say about it. I think it's horrible that he was unalived and that his kids are without a father and his wife is without a husband, and it was done publicly, and that's traumatic for everyone. And I think that's horrible. I don't think it's right. I don't think murder's right. Okay, Laura, thanks for sharing that. But also, I also don't agree with pretty much everything that he stood for. To be honest, when I first found out, I did not know who he was. I did not know I was like, who is that? This guy I follow, Dr. Amen, posted this long tribute to him and was like, oh, he was a friend. I was like, who is that? I didn't know. And then, so I looked him up, and of course, all these clips start coming up. And this is not commentary. He said, she said, these are clips of him. And yeah, those were very disturbing to see. Lots of blatant racism, there was one clip where he was like, oh, if I have a black pilot, he better be qualified. There was another one where he said that if his 10-year-old daughter was SA'd, then he'd want her to carry the baby. And this is in a debate. This is actually him saying it. It's not AI. It's him, and yeah, his take on gun control, that I don't know. I guess it's just horrible, whichever way you look at it, okay, so I didn't agree with what he stood for. I also don't agree with him being shot. So there's my crazy take. What's actually the most interesting to me is who did it, why is this happening? And now I'm just reading about that, and how is this 22-year-old groiper, which I'd never heard of a groiper before. So a groiper, he was a groiper. It refers to a member of a loose collective far-right activists and internet trolls led by Nick Fuentes. So yeah, he was kind of just this massive incel, and the whole thing's really disturbing. And to me, I'm asking what makes why did he feel the need to become that, to join that? Was it that he felt alone and, we need to maybe have more community and, yeah, because to me, I'm confused as to why he felt pulled to this group. Groypers, they push white nationalist, Christian nationalist, America First agendas, and they reject like mainstream conservatism. And they gain prominence by disrupting and publicly embarrassing mainstream conservative figures, including Charlie Kirk. Their tactics include trolling, heckling. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the world has gone mad. And it's so weird, dude, that I'll just be scrolling and I can't get away from it. I can't get away from the Charlie Kirk situation. And it feels like everyone's just fighting about it and debating it. And it's really, it's just so sad. It's so sad and disturbing. But anyway, that's that. So I didn't feel good. I was just back to, watching this really disturbing content that was being pushed to me on every platform. And, my responsibility is engaging in it, just watching the video and then being so morbidly curious about the next video, watching these like hardcore conservatives and these hardcore liberals, and just everyone had these crazy takes, and there's all these insane conspiracy theories around the murder. And I just found myself getting lost in it. I had breakfast because I'm technically not contagious now. I've been on antibiotics for 3 days. So I left my house this morning and had breakfast with my boyfriend, and that consumed the conversation. Charlie Kirk consumed our conversation, and I feel like it's consuming a lot of conversations right now. But there's a lot of arguing going on, and I don't know. It just is really sad and disturbing. Yeah. I guess, what are your thoughts? Thank you to Live It Up for sponsoring this episode. Building healthy habits doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes the simplest ones are the ones that stick. My days do not always go as planned, but having something simple and nourishing built into my routine makes me feel like I'm doing something right. That's where Live It Up Supergreens comes in. Live It Up Supergreens is an all-natural blend of over 20 superfoods formulated with organic vegetables, probiotics, digestive enzymes, and naturally derived ingredients. Just 1 scoop a day can promote gut health, support your immune system, and give you that feel-good energy you can count on. You guys, I drink it every single morning. I have I believe it's raspberry flavored, but it's just 1 scoop, poured in water. I even got my daughter taking a few sips, and I told her it gives her superpowers, and she's like, yeah. I was like, if you take 1 sip, I'll be able to fly. And she takes a sip, and then I start flying around the kitchen. Look, it's good. It tastes good. And it takes 2 seconds to drink. And because it's free from sugar, dairy, gluten, and anything artificial, it's something you can feel good about taking every day. Whether you're juggling work, kids, or just trying to feel a little more like yourself, or school has started and all your disease factors are coming home, Live It Up Supergreens are a small step that makes a big difference. Live It Up is offering you 15% off your first order, including subscriptions, with code IDIOT. Plus, shipping's always free. So head to letsliveitup.com/idiot and use your code IDIOT for 15% off your first Supergreens order. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product does not intend to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So anyway, I don't feel too good. I'm supposed to go see Neil Young tonight, and I'm just like, do I go even though I don't feel good? I mean, I'm not contagious. It's Neil Young. I think I would regret not going to see Neil Young even though I was sick for the rest of my life. The only other time I saw Neil Young was at Whole Foods. He was sitting at Whole Foods and he was just sitting there by the salad bar. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. And he looked more like Neil Young than Neil Young. He had on this big ass hat and just Neil Young. I couldn't believe my eyes. And I think my jaw dropped. Well, because I love Neil Young and like I grew up listening to Neil Young because of my parents. So to see him in real life was amazing. No, I swear to God, you guys. I swear to God. Who's Neil Young, Maya says? Girl, Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon. Come on. Old man. This is another one. Look in my eyes. I'm a lot like you were. But no, you need to look up Harvest Moon. I think Harvest Moon might be the best song that's ever been written. Ever. Maya says, I'm Gen Z, sorry. Well, Neil Young is a boomer. He's literally like 80. But just look him up. Look up Neil Young best hits. Dude, I think he's actually not on Spotify. He like refuses to be on Spotify. Just YouTube him. Just put in Harvest Moon. It'll change your life. It'll actually change your life. It's the most beautiful love song I've ever heard in my entire life. And I should go and just like listen to that, even if I make it like an hour, because I don't feel good. But anyway, so, and then I wanted to talk about this too. Have you guys heard of PANDAS or PANS? Because I actually just posted being like, oh, I have strep throat, boo. Family's got strep. And everyone's like, beware of pandas. And I was like, but they're so cute. Why should I beware? They're adorable. And they're like,
no. Pandas. Pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric disorders.
Are you kidding me? What?
Yes. It's associated with streptococcal infections. And you're gonna get it. So is your entire family. And it will destroy your lives.
So I'm freaking out. Apparently, there's a thing called PANDAS. And it's a condition where children develop sudden and significant changes in behavior and mental health symptoms after streptococcal infection. And by the way, why does no one say streptococcal? Why do we only say strep? Streptococcal is such a fun word. We're taking the fun out of strep. I'm only calling it streptococcal from now on. I've got streptococcal. My son's got streptococcal. And my daughter's got streptococcal. And unfortunately, anyone else that came into contact with me has streptococcal. Stay away from me unless you want streptococcal. Although, I'm not sure if I can pass on streptococcal because I've been taking antibiotics for 3 days now. Streptococcal. Okay, so, but why? Here's the thing. So apparently like neurodivergent kids are vulnerable and more likely to get PANDAS. PANS or PANDAS. There's 2 different types. But I want to know if you guys have had experiences with that, because I'm low-key feeling like, I don't know. I don't want to say too much, but basically a lot of kids on the spectrum, when they're sick, they go through regressions. And I have certainly experienced that, where every time there's a sickness, there is absolutely a regression in behaviors, speech regression, um, just more aggression overall, which makes sense. It's like when I'm sick, I'm mad. I don't want to talk. My brain's not working. If you ask me a question, I might not answer it because my head is spinning and fighting off whatever infection. So I guess I want to know, how do you differentiate between, autism, sickness regression and PANDAS? But I will say there's been some behavior that's so out of character that's happening that I'm concerned. So, okay, let's go ahead. Let's get into the comments over here. Rose says, of course, the physical body affects the mind, vice versa. Sarah says, our regression is typically behavior, so more than aggression. It takes 6 months of therapy. Wow. And tosses it out the window. Sarah says, bro, I feel you on that. It's so disheartening. It's like, oh man. And what I feel the worst about was, 2 weeks ago, he was under the weather, and, I kept him home from school, and, he seemed to be getting better and no fever and just playing and having fun. But then behavior was off. And yeah, because a lot of kids on the spectrum can't articulate, hey, it hurts to swallow, whereas when my daughter, the first morning she got sick on Friday morning at 4:30 in the morning, she woke up, my throat hurts, my mouth, when I yawn, it kills. So I know right away, oh, okay, you might have strep. Let's take you guys to the doctor and get you tested right away. It's not the same with a nonverbal kid, obviously, or a non-conversational child with speech delays. It's just so tricky, dude. It's such a tricky thing. Yeah, Sarah, I agree. There's a lot of changes happening. So that could also be adding to the stress of it all. But you know what? We're all here. We're all alive. I relapsed on social media. I was back binging like a fucking psycho, and I found myself, I'd get off and I'd go, no, Laura, you don't need another one. You don't need another one. And then 15 minutes later, I'm back on my TikTok shit. And yeah, no one, it's not good. So I'm day one back of not scrolling, limiting my time on social media. Progress, not perfection. I'm not going to beat myself up. We were all sick over the weekend. So we were binging movies, binging TV shows, and being lazy. I think that's a perk of being sick that I love personally, is I feel you could just not only justify your laziness, but like you have to be lazy if you want to get better. You have to lay in bed and do nothing and just like snack on crackers and watch shit on TV if you want to get better. Like, I just have to. I'm sick. I have to lay in bed for 20 hours. Sorry. I love that. I love that about being sick. I think that's how I know being a mom is one of the hardest jobs in the world, is like there's this bit of you that is like, yes, I'm sick. I get to do nothing. Although if your children are sick too and they're not in school, then you're f***ed. Then that's not the case at all. Then it's just the sick looking after the sick. And it's like you're being waterboarded by a 4-year-old asking for salt and vinegar chips. It's hell. Rebecca says, I got a UTI and I relapsed on social media too. It's so hard to limit social media when your body needs rest, especially with ADHD, especially when you're burning out of your urethra, especially when you're literally burning with every piece. It is so hard. Of course, you're going to want to distract Bernie with TikTok. Of course you are, girl. And Rebecca, I hope you're feeling better. And I want to share with you, if you guys get UTIs, okay, there was a time I would get chronic UTIs from the time I was a teenager until now. Just like there was a point where I would get them. Honestly, it was like once a month. It was insane. And so they would prescribe me antibiotics. And then, of course, I was taking so many antibiotics that they would just keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back. It was this vicious cycle. And I was so frustrated and angry because if you've had a UTI, you know, the pain is unbearable. And I was so frustrated. And I was like asking the gynecologist, is there anything else I can do? I'm doing everything, you know? I'm doing everything. You wipe front to back. You pee right after sex. You wash with, you know, non-scented shit. I was doing it all, okay? I just think it's genetic, you know? So, but it is what it is. So I'm so frustrated. The OBGYN is no help. No help. Nothing we can do. Oh, drink cranberry juice I would get. And I did, and it never did shit. So I looked on YouTube, how do I naturally heal UTIs? I kept seeing this one video came up actually specifically of a woman talking about how D-Manos, this supplement, changed her life called D-Manos. And I was like, I'm desperate. I'll try it. I ordered it. Actually, I went to the store. Okay, I went. It was that long ago that I didn't even order it to my house. I went to the store. I bought 2 bottles. And then when I got the UTI, or when I started feeling symptoms of UTI, I took a couple of D-Manos. I am not kidding you, dude. I am not kidding you. The shit went away. My UTI went away. It never fully progressed. And I'm not like out here saying, oh, if you get a UTI, take this supplement D-Manos and it'll cure it. No, you need to like go get tested, make sure it doesn't lead to a kidney infection, all that shit. All I'm saying is my experience. My experience is when I would feel the symptoms of a UTI coming on, I would start taking D-Manos, and 9 times out of 10, it would never progress to a UTI. Then I would even go to the doctor and get tested, and they'd say, nope, you're negative. You don't have a UTI. Cool. So now I have them in my fridge. If I ever have SEX, horizontal refreshments, if I ever do a little if I ever do that, I take D-Manos every time. I also pee right after, clean the area, take D-Manos. When I tell you, I have not had a UTI in years. No, I think like 2 years. In like 2 years. And even then, it's because I stopped. Oh my God. Here's why. Here's why I got it 2 years ago. Because I stopped getting the Whole Foods kind of D-Manos, and I ordered D-Manos on Amazon. And I am convinced it was from a scam app company that had such a low dose of D-Manos in that it just wasn't working. Because I was like, D-Manos always works for me. Why isn't it working? And then I went back to the brand that I normally use. Never got them again. So be careful. Get the good shit. You got to get that good shit. Get that good shit. And it changed my life. So I'm just saying that, like, I know it's a rant, but I'm actually talking to this company about starting a supplement line. And one of the things I said was I really want to sell D-Manos because I'm so fucking obsessed. I could sell D-Manos to a celibate monk That's how good I can be at selling this. It changed my life. Okay, virgin nun. Thank you, Sherry. Ooh, Rosie said, stop wearing thongs. You got to stop wearing thongs too. Interesting. That's what I always said. Why are you going to voluntarily have a string up your ass? That's how I feel about thongs. Why are you going to voluntarily have a string just up your ass? You know those like 90s movies where the bully gives you a wedgie? You're just doing that to yourself. You're being your own bully. Every time you put on a polyester thong, you're just saying, you kid. Yeah, I gotcha. Why are you doing that? Pit stains on fleek. Why? Because I use natural deodorant and it doesn't work. Good. It doesn't work. But I decided I'd rather be sweaty than cancery. And I don't want that cancery. No, thank you. Couldn't imagine a thong. Rachel says, couldn't imagine a thong. Oh, Rebecca says dusting powder works so great as a natural deodorant. Why do I just know you're from the UK? Dusting powder. Have you ever tried dusting powder on your underarms? It's fantastic. Just put a little dust there, a little dust here. Fantastic. Emma says her dad loves thongs. What? Huh? Oh, Miranda says antibacterial soap. Wash with that. No more stinky pits. I gotta say, not so stinky, just sweaty. Oh, oh, yes, Caroline. Yes, that's what that's referring to. My dad now likes to wear thongs in his hot tub. It's a new thing. We don't know why. He just came down. My mom called me, "You're not going to believe this, Laura." I said, "What?" She goes, "Dan's wearing thongs in the hot tub now." I said, "What?" She goes, "Yeah." I asked him, where'd you get that? And you know what he said? I said, "What?" He goes, "Don't worry about it." And so I left it at that. My 72-year-old dad is loving the bikini thongs in his hot tub. And he doesn't want to hear anything about it. I got him that hot tub, by the way. When I started making money as a content creator, I'm like, I actually was so excited to not be broke, because I was broke my whole life. And then when I started making by making good money, it was like more than I needed to survive. I was like, I'm rolling in it. Jeff Bezos, who? I'm rich. I've got 3 months of rent. But it was like, yeah, I started making more money than I ever had. And so I would send my parents money all the time, pay your mortgage. It's on me, baby. And then that was the coolest thing ever, was to ever be able to send my parents money. It was the best thing ever. But I also was you hot tub. Don't worry about it. It's on me. And I just sent my dad a hot tub because he would always talk about wanting a hot tub and sent him a hot tub. My mom's like, "What the did you just send us? Where the am I supposed to put this, Laura?" I was like, "On the screen porch." Just clean it out. Clean out the screen porch, put in the hot tub. And so he still uses that hot tub like every night. And now he just uses it in a thong. And I love that for him. That's what I'm saying, Sherry. If you ever make bank, just spoil your parents. It's the best thing ever. And your friends too. Carolyn says, I'm obsessed with your mom. She's such a vibe. I know. She really is. I was actually thinking, I was like, I need to have her out here once a month just for her to be out here, but also to be on the podcast once a month because people love her more than me. They're just like, they see my face. They're like, where's your mom? They're like, cool. Hey, Laura, but is your mom staying with you? Like, when's your mom coming to visit? She's amazing. I get it. And I want her to come on like once a month. She's the best. It's just hard to travel with my dad having dementia. That's hard. So I'm trying to convince them to just be full-time grandparents and just go because they got one daughter in Los Angeles, one daughter in Chicago, and one daughter in Oregon. And I'm like, why don't you spend the winter months in LA with me, the fall, beautiful fall, and on the farm in Oregon, and then in the summer in Chicago? Are you kidding me? And you just get to be full-time grandparents traveling around to beautiful places with your kids and grandkids. Doesn't that sound like the life? That's what I think. So next time she's here, we all need to convince her of that. There is no way we've only been going for 14 minutes. The way that I feel like we've been talking for 6 hours, but I think that's the strep. I feel like we have spent the weekend together. Oh, my producer just texted me 40 minutes, Laura. Shut the up and end this. I'm sick of it. And I'm sick of you. And I'm sick of your stupid face and your dumbass Napoleon Dynamite looking ass. Stop talking. Nobody wants to hear it. Patrick, why did you say that? Someone literally told me, I'm just kidding. Patrick's the nicest person ever. He didn't say any of that. That was just my inner voice. That was just my subconscious. Someone told me, you guys, that I literally look like Napoleon Dynamite. And you know what? I do see it. Like, I actually do see it. I don't fist. You can put up Napoleon Dynamite here. That's fine. And we can do a little comparison. Ready? All right, let's do the comparison. And I do think it's my overbite, you know, and we probably just have similar features. He's actually not a bad looking guy, you know, but this bitch wrote it in a way to make me feel shitty. Like, I posted a picture of me, like, literally going, tested positive for strep. My under eyes are like black. And I'm just like, just wrote a little snippet of what was going on that day, you know, how I was feeling, you know. How do you guys, any natural remedies, any tips and tricks? Hey, slut, you look like, she wrote this. I hate to be the one to tell you, but you look exactly like Napoleon Dynamite. And then she responded to that comment with a picture of me and a picture of Napoleon Dynamite next to it. And then she goes, look at the side by side. The resemblance is uncanny. Now, and then I was like, all right, it was the phrasing, because if she had been like, oh my gosh, you know who you remind me of? Napoleon Dynamite, who's actually not a bad looking guy. Both of you guys are so funny. Whatever. There's Midwest ways to say I look like Napoleon Dynamite without being an asshole. There are nice ways to tell me I look like Napoleon Dynamite, and that was not one of them. And here's how I know it was a dig, because she started it with, I hate to be the one to tell you. And then proceeded to respond to that comment with a side by side. going, it's uncanny. So that's all. That's what pissed me off was the intention. I think she meant to hurt me, to dig a little, to make me feel small, bad, insecure, or else she would have phrased it differently, dude. You would have phrased it differently. Vixen says, I'm so sorry. I'm laughing though. No, I know. Look, I see it too. Carolyn says, it's your luscious lips. Thank you, Carolyn. I appreciate that. It's also our dance moves. They're very similar. And I got to say, I think that movie is genius. And I think he was a genius in it. And I think he wrote it. The whole thing was brilliant. So I'm actually not. I think it was the intent that got me. It was that mean girl energy. You know? All right, now you fuckers. Everyone's like, be him for Halloween. You'd kill it. Just put on glasses. Costume done. Guys, you're not helping. But that is a good Halloween costume. What do you guys think I should be for Halloween? Napoleon Dynamite or Elizabeth Berkley from Showgirls? Because those are the two people I get. Those are the two lookalikes I get. Napoleon. I know. Napoleon's funnier. Like if I want to go funny, I'll go Napoleon and I'd kill that. Wait, if I did Napoleon Dynamite, you know what I could do? I could redo his dance that he did at the talent show and I would destroy that. Because I'm like, I just love physical comedy so much and I would absolutely destroy that dance. Okay, so that's fun. Whereas Elizabeth Berkley, I would have to learn how to pole dance and hump on a pole and twerkity twerk. And that's not that funny. Although me doing it is funny. Would you guys like to see me twerking it up as Elizabeth Berkley on Showgirls or doing the talent show Napoleon Dynamite? What are we doing for Halloween? I need to decide now. Napoleon. Rachel, Beefy Loibs is not, I'm not going as a Beefy Loib. By the way, for those of you just listening to this podcast episode, I'm recording it live on Patreon. If you want to see my podcast live, you subscribe to my Patreon, patreon.com/Laura Clary. And so I respond to your comments. We have little conversations in the podcast. So that's what I'm doing right now. If you're not yet subscribed, you're missing the live episodes where I get to actually talk to you and hang out with your ass. Okay, so Rachel's saying Beefy Loibs. Again, if you were subscribed to the Patreon, you would know Beefy Loibs is an inside joke we have. I want Beefy Loibs and I don't have them. What are Beefy Loibs, you ask? I hate that I have to tell you. If you joined my patreon.com/Laura Clary, you know exactly what Beefy Loibs are, but you're not subscribed, so you don't. So I guess I'll tell you. Beefy Loibs are earlobes that have a lot of meat on them. And my earlobes lack meat, like many other parts of my body do. I've got, like, dare I say, skinny earlobes? There's not a lot of lobe here. If you, Fist, when you edit this, just tighten in on my loibs. So we nickname lobes loibs because you just have to join to understand. But we nickname lobes loibs. I want Beefy Loibs. I don't have Beefy Loibs. I've got a lack of loibs. And I'm pissed about it. Because I want to put more earrings on my loibs. And I can't. Because there's not enough loibs. My loibs aren't beefy enough. But I'm not going as Beefy Loibs for Halloween. That's disgusting. Can you imagine if I was just a giant earlobe? All right, maybe I should do that. Okay, here's the vote. Napoleon Dynamite, Elizabeth Berkley from Showgirls, or beefy, massive earlobe? Which one? Which one? I don't know. I'm gonna I think I'm gonna go see Neil Young tonight. I think I would regret it if I didn't. Even though, I'm not feeling that great. I'll take 2 Advil. It's at 7:30. I'll go from 7:30 and I'll be home at 9:30. Come on. Calm down. Oh, well, I can tell you what the kids are. I just got their costume, and then I swear to God I'm gonna go because I know we all have lives. So my son is obsessed with all the Toy Story movies right now, absolutely obsessed, which is great because for years it was Cars only, Cars 1 through 3, just nonstop. So of course he was Lightning McQueen last year, and the year before, and the year before, and the year before. Got a touch of the tism. So, but now he's obsessed with the Toy Story, and of course he's not. When I ask him, hey, what do you want to be for Halloween? He's not going to tell me. So I have to go give him options. And I said, Alfie, do you want to be Woody or Buzz? And he goes, Buzz. Done. Done. So he's going to be Buzz. I got his costume from Etsy, which I love, dude, because they hand make that shit. And, I get it. I'm not hating on you if you get the $15 costume in the bag. I get that. I've done that too. But I just, for Halloween, sometimes, you know what it is? My mom used to make our Halloween costumes. How lucky am I? She used to, and I didn't even appreciate it. I mean, I did, but not as much as I do now. She used to hand sew our Halloween costumes and put so much love into them. And they were so cool and handmade. Oh my God, you guys. She sewed her own wedding dress. My mom made her own wedding dress. I said, why'd you do that? She goes, we didn't have any money. I love that she made her own wedding dress. How amazing is that? Growing up, I was such a lanky, tall, skinny bitch that I could not, all the TJ Maxx places that we could afford clothes from, the pants were like flooding on me. None of them fit because I was, so tall and skinny, nothing fit. So my mom hand sewed my sweatpants. I had like 16 pairs of handmade sweatpants growing up, and she'd make them like long and skinny like me. Come on. That's really cool. I'm very lucky that she would make my stuff. But yes, so Etsy, a lot of handmade stuff there. So I got my daughter's witch costume from there last year, and it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. The coolest costume. I can show you a picture of the costume. I'm not showing the kids' faces anymore, but I can show you the costume. So awesome. And this year, she just keeps asking to be a ballerina. So we're looking through the ballerina costumes on there, and there's this like candy queen ballerina with like, just look it up on Etsy, you'll see it. But she wanted that one. It's a really cool ballerina costume. Anyway, it's fun. Etsy's fun. And then I was like, oh, well, I got the kids' Halloween costumes on there, so might as well type in cat-shaped purse. And then I spent like an embarrassing amount of time looking at different cat-shaped purses.
And I may have gotten one.
Twisted, I was having a good day. She just wrote, Trump is trying to kill TikTok again. Damn it, Twisted. Every time we're having a good time, you just got to come in here with some news, Twisted. Sherry wrote purse. That's exactly what I was after. Oh, Twisted. Just messing with you. And yes, I do my podcast on a TheraBall, like on an exercise ball. I just feel better. I highly recommend you sitting on them and just bouncing on them all day instead of chairs. Because as we all know, chairs are the new, sitting is the new smoking. Have you guys heard of that? Yeah. Research shows that sitting is the new smoking. Yeah. You can't sit anymore. Sitting down for 15 minutes is like having a pack of cigarettes. It's Harvard study backed. I wish I wasn't making that up, but I literally had a Harvard trained doctor tell me that as we're sitting down for an interview. I was like, yeah, you're sitting. She was like, yeah, I guess I am. I don't know. All right, bitches. Love you guys. Thank you for joining my podcast. If you haven't yet subscribed to my Patreon, go to patreon.com/Laura Clary and subscribe to see my episodes live. Also, I just go live. Also, we have monthly book clubs. This month's book is The Comfort Book. I love it because I'm busy right now between court and working and children and strep and working and children and strep. I don't have time for a big ass book. So The Comfort Book is great because literally I've been flipping to random pages and they'll just have these tiny excerpts, little parcels of hope and inspiration. And it's like a daily reflection type vibe where you can just flip to a random page or read it chronologically, doesn't matter. And there's just little bits of wisdom in there and things to reflect on. And it makes you question. It's just a philosophical, fun hug of a book. It's like a warm hug of a book. And I love it. I am actually really enjoying it. And the author, I think it's Matt Fig. Am I saying it right? He followed me back on Instagram. I can't believe it, but he followed me back on Instagram. And so I'm going to try to convince him to come on for an interview because I think that would be really cool. And maybe I'll make that one live too. So you guys can troll him. I'm just kidding. Ask questions. We're not going to troll the comfort guy. That would be so up. All right. I think that's everything. Until next week, get the Comfort Book if you haven't. If you haven't, even if you don't care about that, you can still join our book club because we really just chat. It's like, it's cool because it's Zoom. So I get to see your face and bring you in. And then everyone gets to share for around 3 minutes at a time. And so it's just a really beautiful way to connect and a beautiful way to, have a community, a healthy, loving community, which I think we're all in need of, especially right now. Especially right now, we need each other, right? So patreon.com/Laura Clary if you want to join this loving community. And until next week, I hope you all have an amazing, grateful, fun, exciting day. Okay. Mwah. Bye, everyone.